Before you try to understand Brazil, stop comparing it to your own country. Because Brazil doesn't work like Europe. It doesn't work like the United States. And it definitely doesn't work like you imagine it does. Brazil isn't a failed country, and it's not a paradise either. It's a country that has mastered the art of surviving pressure. Let's start with money, because this is where most foreigners get really confused. The minimum wage in Brazil, when converted to dollars or euros, sounds impossible. People look at that number and think, how can anyone possibly live on this? And the honest answer is, they don't live like you do. They adapt. In Brazil, survival isn't linear. Having just one job isn't the rule. It's the exception. People are experts at combining incomes. The salary gets combined with side work. That side work gets combined with favors. Those favors are part of a community. Someone sells food from their kitchen window. Someone else fixes phones on the side. Another person does hair at home. Someone resells products online or in their neighborhood. Someone works a remote job at night after their day job. This isn't some trendy hustle culture. This is survival culture, born out of necessity. A Brazilian house is rarely just a house. It's an entire economic system. The front of the house becomes a small shop. The back of the property becomes another home for family. The roof becomes the foundation for another floor. The garage gets rented out for extra income. This is a big reason why Brazilian cities can look so chaotic. But chaos is not the same thing as disorder. Brazilian cities are organic. They grow and evolve based on immediate needs, not on some distant urban plan. Now, let's talk about time. Time in Brazil feels different. Not slower, just different. Yes, deadlines exist, but relationships almost always come first. If someone is late, there's usually a very real reason behind it. If a plan suddenly changes, people don't panic. They adjust. And what about work? Brazilian people work incredibly hard, both physically and mentally. What you might see as constant smiling and joking is a form of emotional resistance. People joke because complaining all the time is just too painful. It's a way to cope, to keep moving forward. Let's move on to safety. Brazil isn't uniformly dangerous. It's uneven. There are places you should absolutely avoid, and there are places where nothing ever happens, sometimes on the very same street. This constant reality teaches Brazilians a unique kind of awareness. It's about reading the environment, understanding people, and knowing exactly when to move and when to stay still. In many neighborhoods, the police are a distant presence, so the community fills that gap. Neighbors watch out for each other. They warn each other. They protect each other. This is why Brazilians are so often seen talking to strangers. It's why they ask questions and notice small details about their surroundings. Silence isn't peace here. Silence is absence. Noise means people are alive and around. Music means someone is okay. Conversation means connection. And that brings us to food. In Brazil, food isn't just about eating. It's a strategy. People cook at home to save money. They bring their lunch to work. They share meals with friends and colleagues. Street food is popular because restaurants are a luxury for many. Homemade food is the foundation of daily life because survival requires careful planning, and absolutely no one wastes food because tomorrow is always uncertain. Let's talk about inequality. Brazil doesn't hide its inequality. It's on full display everywhere you look. You'll see luxury apartment buildings right next to simple, self-built houses. You'll see expensive imported cars driving past street vendors trying to make a living. You'll find pristine tourist areas bordering impoverished communities. This stark contrast often shocks foreigners. But for Brazilians, it is a part of life that teaches them from a very young age that life is unfair. And because of that, they learn to be flexible, to be resilient. Now, for emotions, Brazilians feel everything deeply. They argue loudly. They laugh loudly. They love intensely. This isn't drama. It's emotional transparency. People express themselves because holding it all inside is too costly for the soul. Here, mental health is often protected by a powerful combination of humor, conversation, and human connection. So what about happiness? In Brazil, happiness isn't necessarily found in stability or long-term security. It's found in moments. A shared meal with family, a good joke with friends, a thrilling football game. The sound of music at the end of a long, hard day. People learn to celebrate the small wins, because the big wins can take a very long time to achieve. When foreigners come to Brazil, they often notice these contradictions. They say things like, the people are poor, but they're so happy. But that's not quite accurate. The reality is that people are struggling, but they are deeply connected. And that connection helps to reduce suffering, whereas isolation only increases it. Brazil is not an easy country, but it is a profoundly human one. So let me ask you something. If you lost your job tomorrow, would your neighbors step in to help you? If your salary was suddenly cut, would your community find ways to adapt with you? If the system around you failed, would the people in your life keep things moving? That is Brazil. Brazil doesn't depend on systems. It depends on people. This is why Brazil is so confusing to the outside world. This is why it's so intense. And this is why, against all odds, Brazil always survives. Now it's your turn. What part of Brazil do you still not understand? What surprises you the most about what I've shared? What shocks you? Ask your questions in the comments below. I promise you, Brazilians will answer honestly. Thanks for watching.